this is for the one who ain't never had a love, yeah. This one's for the girl who don't feel like she's enough, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This one's for the cool kid playing on the school team, crying to himself cause he never had the prom queen. Head full of wants, but they said it's just a pipe dream, yeah. This one's for the kids like me, they ain't never had one day. The ladies always turn their cheek, but they ain't let the fat ones sing. This one's for the kids like me, kept working when they had nothing. When people try to take their dreams, they stuck it to them, please don't change. For the nerds and the misfits, bullied by the rich kids, feel like they're alone even though they never did shit. Binging anime to find somebody they could fit with. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This one's for the people who ain't ever give a fuck, for the people who are down and they just feel like giving up. And this is for the people fighting thoughts that they're stuck. Yeah. This one's for the kids like me, they ain't never had one thing. The ladies always turn their cheek, but they ain't let the fat ones sing. This was for the kids like me, kept working when they had nothing. When people try to take their dreams, they stuck it to them, please don't change. When we get knocked down, we get back up. No, 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 we're not gonna take it. When we get knocked down, we get back up. No, 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 we're not gonna take it. Get knocked down, you get back up. Nah, 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 we're not gonna take it. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? How you doing out there? October 13, 2024. Alex hanging out here. Dave over there. Hi, Dave.
Hello. How
How
are
you
you?
Doing good. I'm doing good. I'm hanging in there. I'm enjoying life. We got a lot of shit going on, Dave. It's weird that how, like, it's funny now doing this day to day. I listen to a lot of like different shows, and it's like you kind of think they might struggle to find things to talk about on the day to day.
There's
But in
always
reality, there's so much shit going on all
always
the time.
topics.
If you're looking for it, you can find so many things. And of course, throughout the day, I'm looking for it. And then I text David and I'm like, do you have anything? And he like finds things in like 15 minutes, which is crazy. And that just goes to show how much there is going on, because Dave doesn't prepare at all. Where you have me like reading
Don't
articles
need to.
all day.
Don't need to. I'll find
So-
something immediately.
But we're here. We're having a good time as always. I appreciate everyone that is with us watching. If you're watching on X, Facebook, if you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate it all. If you're on X, give us a repost and give us a share over there and a follow and all that. Comment. If you are on Facebook, give us a follow over there and comment. And if you are on YouTube, we always appreciate that. Subscribe, like the show, give us a comment, and all that good stuff. And if you're listening to this on podcast form later, we appreciate you as well. Go give us a follow over there, rate us 5 stars, leave a positive comment, because that always helps in the podcast space as well. And that's actually fun fact for everyone that's listening or going to listen. The most important thing you can do, even more than liking, following, because that's all awesome, is telling people about us. Just telling people that we're here, that we're generally here every night. Look for us, a little bit after 9, possibly 10, but tell them that we're here every night, and that at least if you go follow us on wherever you are, put a notification up, because we will be up there. We'll pop up and you'll hear a bunch of, we talk about a bunch of different shit, which ultimately we're not helping ourselves in the algorithm by doing that, but we're not going to compromise. We're going to do the show that we do because we enjoy doing it. So we just appreciate everyone out there. So why is Mike McCarthy still the Cowboys coach? You know what, Nate? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question, to be completely honest, especially after tonight.
And here's the thing, though. Why is Jerry Jones not hiring a GM? Because as much as you could blame McCarthy, you can also blame the fact that Jerry Jones said, hey, Dak and CD, try. There's nobody else there.
Well, not Jerry Jones is all in.
Oh, yeah, Jerry Jones is all in. Of course, he's
all in, man.
But, you take away all this, I find this similar to the Sanchez situation, where you take away every weapon bit by bit by bit, and you just leave him one guy, where Sanchez, it was like, hey, have Santonio Holmes, enjoy him. And then you have nobody else. So it's like, as much as I want to blame McCarthy, and McCarthy is on the hot seat, like deservedly so.
Yeah.
He hasn't produced the way he's supposed to with the teams he had. But this year's team is probably the worst team Jerry Jones has given him in his whole tenure. They don't have a Dalton Schultz. They don't have, Ferguson's not the same guy Schultz was and things like that. Um, they took away Cooper. They let Gallup got, all these people are gone that were reliable guys for Dak.
They got Zeke back.
They got Zeke who can't run. You let go of Tony Pollard, who is running like a fucking madman in Tennessee right now.
Yep.
So you get rid of all these things, and now I get it. Mike McCarthy, maybe he's gone stale, but at the same time, Jerry Jones has not done him any favors. So we'll see what goes on in Big D. But you know what though? Let's not take away anything from Detroit. Detroit's a really good fucking team. That is a really, really good team. To go into Big D and kick those doors in is saying a lot. Yeah. Goff, and the thing is, we're not talking about Amon St. Ra a lot right now. And it's like, or St. Brown, sorry, who St. Ra? There's another one that's St. Ra in the league. St. Brown. Yeah. So it's like, we're not talking about him that much. He's one of the best receivers in the NFL. And that's just how good the Lions are. You think Fergie's better? I thought Dalton Schultz had a little bit better hands. I think Ferguson's a little soft. I think that's the problem with Ferguson. I think Ferguson is a little bit soft. So it's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's nuts going on right now. Rico Dowdle sucked in South Carolina. He did. He certainly did. But yeah, overall, I'm not going to blame McCarthy fully. I am going to blame someone, Jerry Jones, but McCarthy's ultimately going to get the hack. And that's what happens. So yeah, let's jump into the fun stuff. I'm going to do my little preamble as I always do. Starting it off at the top, got the Epstein not flight logs, the Epstein client list. The flight logs are already out there, and I don't give a fuck about the flight logs because they don't mean anything at all. The the Epstein client list is what I want to see, because bottom line, the Epstein client list is the important part. And like I say every night, there are women walking out there that have to sit there and keep their mouth shut when it comes to what went on and things like that because of all the ongoing cases. And it's just sad to see that we're protecting all these rich and powerful people. And I guarantee they're in the government. I guarantee they're in intelligence. I guarantee that they're in entertainment with Diddy and all that shit. So we need to see it. We need to keep demanding it again. If you have another favorite streamer besides us, go comment, super chat, do it enough so that they have to talk about it every single night, because it's something we should be talking about. Secondly, help for Helene and Milton. Keep on giving it if you can. Even if it's just spreading awareness and posting on social media all the time about your favorite, place to go. I recommend mercury1.org, and I will recommend them all the time because they do good work. But whoever you want to go to, keep recommending it, because if you can get another person once a week, someone once a week donating a little bit, that's going to be massive. We'll continue on with our preamble. Alex Jones always has a spot here. I'm throwing that out every single night for someone that listens. If he ever gets canceled fully, like they try to, and he gets completely taken out, always welcome to jump on the show and speak his piece, because free speech is paramount. We need to protect it. And lastly, everyone listening here and everyone that's voting for Donald Trump, donates $1 to Moms for Liberty. They will be able to fight the good fight about getting woke shit out of our schools. I am absolutely gearing up to potentially go to war with my school over some woke bullshit that they're putting in. And I'm pretty sure, if I recruit and ask for Moms for Liberty help, they will be there. Tina Deskovich, Tiffany Justice, and all the people in the chapters will be here to support me and help me. And that's what we need. So donate to them. It is an incredible cause. Okay. So Dave, let's get into the fun stuff. We have some crazy headlines going on right now because it was reported. I saw the report as I was scrolling through. The first article I came across was from the Epic Times, and Dave, do you want to pull it up? You want me to pull it up?
I got it.
You got it. All right. So from the Epic Times, armed man arrested outside a Trump rally in California faces gun charges. So let's see what they had to say about this.
Real quick byline. Sheriff says he believes his deputies thwarted an assassination attempt against Trump. Secret Service says former president was not in any danger.
And here's the thing. He wasn't necessarily in any danger, regardless if this person was actually trying to kill him, because they caught him outside. Okay. So that's the story. They caught him outside of the perimeter. And apparently he had two weapons. He had a shotgun. He had a handgun with a high volume magazine. And he was apparently quoted as saying he wanted to kill the president. Now, this, to all the MAGA and Trump world, that's the apparent allegation.
I was saying, I haven't seen that in this article or in the New York Post article.
It was in this article unless they updated it. Because when I read it in this article, They
Okay,
updated
hold
it
up.
if they didn't.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm
missed it
reading
here.
it.
Earlier in the day, Bianco told the Epic Times in a text message, "We arrested a man trying to get in the perimeter with 2 firearms who ended up saying he was going to kill the president."
Okay. So there's that. And that right there sent Trump world into a frenzy that, he's that, they're 0-3 against him. Third assassination attempt, blah, blah, blah. And up until we started talking, Dave, I didn't see anything to the contrary. So what do you, Dave? You have some other stuff. What is the New York Post article? Is a lot of the same?
Yeah, it has a good bunch of the same, but it has a little bit more into it.
Okay.
And this is very weird to me because, there's a text message saying that from, I believe, the sheriff. Bianco is the sheriff, yeah. But he was booked on weapons charges, and then right after he was just sprung with a $5,000 bail.
So it's really contradictory to a guy that was attempting to kill the president.
Yeah, and like I said, it's really only from the sheriff. This sheriff has been doubling down on that they thwarted an assassination attempt, but this guy himself, I mean, this article gets a little ridiculous with
Kind
how
of
they
looks like a
kind of.
little bit like Ethan Van Sciver.
Well, hold on a second. Okay, but yeah,
Listen, EVS, I got no issues with you, but you kind of looks like him in this one picture. With
yeah, but it's really interesting because I mean, this article says a lot of random shit about this, but he is a member of the sovereign citizens movement. They say it's far right. It's not far right. That's not how you understand how the spectrum is on that stuff. But it is a movement that wouldn't really do this, to be quite honest with you. It just wouldn't happen. And so there's a lot of weird shit here. And honestly, I don't know how he had fake press passes, but the whole time he's been saying that he wasn't there for that reason. I have no fucking idea what's going on with that. It's a really weird story, and add to the fact that right here, Mindy MF Robinson on Twitter. Now you apparently follow Mindy, or you've seen her tweet.
I have her on because I split my things up in lists. One of them is our, the Alex Questa show list, where I basically keep a lot of like people I'm interested in, and I have Mindy up there. And for the most part, I don't agree with everything Mindy says. Not everyone at all, but Mindy is, fairly based, on a lot of the things that she says. So I actually have no reason to doubt Mindy with what she's saying, but this actually adds so much to it. So Dave, what did Mindy have to say?
She has this whole long tweet basically saying that she works with Van Miller and they have been doing documentaries and they're doing this whole journalism on a deep state cover up and everything like that. I don't know exactly how much that's going to be true or how much they really found out. But overall, it seems like these people would be much more on the side of Trump than they would be for someone that would try to kill Trump. So it's really weird. And him being a sovereign citizen, if that's true, it would make sense why he has illegal guns. He doesn't fucking believe in the government. He believes that he is not a part of that. He believes he shouldn't pay taxes. He believes in a whole bunch of things. Like he can just run red lights. It doesn't matter to sovereign citizens. So him having illegal guns doesn't matter. Like that's actually expected if he's a sovereign citizen. Yeah. So it means absolutely nothing other than the fact that, he'll get arrested for it, but it doesn't mean that he was trying to kill President Trump. So this whole story is weird. The Secret Service might be actually more correct on this one. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know. And I'm not saying to trust the Secret Service or anyone in the Fed, but I don't know. The sheriff doubling down on this, I get it. There's been 2 assassination attempts on his life. And I get why people are worried that someone's around him with a whole bunch of illegal shit, fake press passes and all that stuff. Someone that, might have a chance to do something. But apparently he was also close to Don Jr. at some point, like literally near him. So if he wanted to do damage in any kind of way, I feel like he would have done it at some point during that time or any other time. It's a weird story. There's a lot more that's most likely going to come out. Honestly, hopefully it's going to come out because otherwise we'll never know. Yeah. But I get why we would jump on this.
Absolutely.
But it really is. I feel like this is something that you really have to step back on and be like, hold up. This might not be that much of a story in that aspect.
And the thing is, if he was friendly with Mindy and if he worked with her, I guarantee that there's got to be somebody in the Trump circle that maybe knows of Van Miller. Maybe doesn't necessarily know him, but already knows of him because like you said, sovereign citizens, they're not far right necessarily, but they do kind of lean in with, if they're going to coexist with a movement, it's more of the people that allow them to speak their minds. And so in the end, I could see them basically going in with with that group. And again, people on, Trump has formed quite the fucking coalition of
Yeah,
people.
he's a registered Republican.
Yeah.
So like they're just then this is not like Ruth or Crooks or anything where it's like, oh, he was a Republican for like 5 minutes, but he donated to every Act Blue donation he possibly fucking could. It's not like that. No, this guy is like straight up registered Republican,
Believes in more conservative values and things like that.
rights, believes in all these
Yes,
types of things. And it doesn't seem like he would be the type of person to actually try an assassination attempt. Now, stopping someone, especially getting past the border or the check, I don't know how he got past the check, to be completely honest, but it's completely normal to be wary of anyone that gets near Trump with firearms at this point right now, where there's only so many days left in the campaign.
Yes.
So I get it 110%, but I feel like this one wasn't exactly, I don't know.
And what I could see happening in this situation is, as he's getting, patted down and things like that, sarcastically, he's probably going, "Oh yeah, I'm here to kill the president," and boom, there's the quote. You said it. They're going to do it. I could see him, especially being a sovereign citizen,
because apparently he also said,
guys,
he also said it was bullshit. Like, he also said it was bullshit that he would do that.
Exactly. I can imagine him saying it sarcastically, like, "Guys, yeah, sure, I'm here to kill the president." Like, and then right away there's your quote, and they're going to run with that, right? And like you said, and like Mindy said, this could be law enforcement wanting a win. You know what I mean? So it's really could be law enforcement wanting a win there. And
it could be wanting a win. And it also could be just like, they're terrified because the president's life is on their hands anytime he's in the local area.
But he doesn't look Iranian, Dave, so we don't have to worry about him.
Yeah, apparently. No, but yeah, but they're terrified of that. And if they're going to make any kind of stop, they're going to say, "Look, we fucking stopped this." And they're going to probably double down on it. And I get why they would. But for me right now, with the information we have, it's just weird to immediately say it's an assassination attempt. Doesn't, especially if he didn't kind of come out with any guns. Like,
it's better off to say, "Hey, we stopped a suspicious individual with a firearm. We do not know his intention, but with the heightened things around President Trump, we are going to assume it was a potential assassination attempt, but it is not confirmed or not." Because you know what? In their eyes, assuming that it's there, okay, I would say fuck yeah with what's gone on. Assume this guy was there to do harm.
Yeah.
But, to sit there and, like, again, don't die on that hill. That's not the hill to die on.
Yeah, well, because, like, with Crooks, we literally have that he went to the spot a day before. He's been scoping that shit out for a while. People were pointing at him on a roof, and no one fucking did anything. So, that whole situation's been weird, and we haven't found out enough of that whole assassination attempt. But also with Ryan Ruth, who hid out in bushes and had a note calling that he'll say pay $150,000.
Like cell phone things, he was out there for 12 hours, or at least he had a cell phone out there for 12 hours. So
exactly. So
not.
Yeah. So we're sitting here with these two who have had these motivations. We can see, we at least have the information that we know that they were looking to do this in some type of way. Right now, we don't have that for this guy. It was just he had illegal firearms. He had fake press passes, which not great.
Not great.
And when you're around the president.
But I would hate to see this guy who doesn't seem like an individual that would want to do that go down and now get assassination charges, potential assassination, and go to jail for whatever it is.
Well, right now he's not. Now he's not, right? Because it's the local police that are saying they stopped it. Yeah. The feds are saying, yeah, it doesn't look like it.
Like, relax, guys.
Yeah, like there's a reason why he's out on bail right now.
Yeah,
and they're going to continue investigating this, but he's out on bail because they don't think that he's an actual threat. At least the feds don't.
Hack no cap. Is this a real thing? Trump.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
Hack, if this is a real thing, throw a link so we can find out what it is. And here's the thing. You need to get it right, Hack. It is the Trumpy trout, not the Trump. It is the Trumpy trout. Trumpy trout. Come on now. At least read our fucking headline from last night, you illiterate bastard. Anyway, That's why you make music that we play at the beginning of every show. You better be happy. Anyway,
I'm still waiting for that strike, Joe. You got to strike the channel for playing the music.
you got to strike the channel, and you also got to send us more of your music so we don't play
I
the
haven't
same
even
5 songs.
considered the Pharaoh Flounder.
Listen, the only time I want to see the Farrell flounder is after we make a run, get a championship, and Farrell is floundering on the ground somewhere in happiness. Okay, that's what I want.
Yeah, based on how Vegas went, whenever. Yeah. I doubt we'll find out everything about what happened with Crooks in that first attempt because
We
I mean,
still
they
don't
even
have
talk
the
about it.
we still don't have the trans shooter manifesto in full.
Um,
We know we got the few pages
I
from.
thought
I
the
didn't
full
think we
one
got the
came
full
out not
thing.
too long ago.
I didn't
I
think we
thought
got
it
the
was
full
Crowder
thing.
that had the full one that came
No,
out.
Crowder had a few pages, and Crowder let out just like the highlights. I don't think Crowder ever got the full thing because
Nate, you might know because I thought the full one eventually came out. Maybe it was post. So I swore I could have seen that the full one came out at some
maybe,
point.
and maybe I'm wrong. But again, that also took over a year
Yes,
to come
and
out.
it took people really digging into that shit in order
And
to
by
find
that
it.
point, nobody gives a fuck. It was already
Yeah.
buried.
Well,
So
I mean, we've gone past 2 debates where the assassination attempt wasn't brought up by the moderators, so no one apparently cares that we had a former president almost die on live TV.
and you know what I think is I don't like the whataboutism either, but this is the truth. If it was Kamala, if it was Biden, if it was Waltz, it would be the only thing they would be trying to nail down Vance and Trump about. Do you believe that your people are violent? Should you be
Mhm.
saying what you say? Blah blah blah. There would be 19
Well, they're
questions
still
out of
saying
20.
that
They
with
still are.
him being shot at. They're saying that.
Okay, so it was a full release. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I
Like I
didn't
said,
see it.
I could have sworn there was a full release later. Like we got a full pages, and then there was a full release not too
Okay.
long ago, like months ago.
Oh, but maybe that's why, because here's the thing. It's
I
fucking
know there's
ridiculous.
so much
I
fucking
pay
information
attention
every
to
day.
politics,
Yeah,
and I didn't even know nor
Yeah.
remember that. So
Yeah.
these things get buried so quickly, and it's intentional, right?
Mhm.
They want to bury this shit quickly
Mhm.
because again, you look at the timeline. Let's look at like the scorecard of fucking psychos, right? You have what is it? We had Scalise,
Yeah.
we had Trump twice.
The guy that went to go firebomb an ice building.
The guy went to go firebomb an ice building. We had a few. So was it 4 or 5? And then the only one that we had is the one that got shot in the head. What's her name? She was the I don't know if it was a Republican that shot her. I thought it was maybe like a crazy climate person that shot her, but she was a Democrat, and she got shot in the fucking head. Like I'm happy she survived.
I don't remember that one at all.
It was a few years ago. I forget her name. But if I type Democrat that got shot, they're gonna give me Kennedy, so I'm not even gonna write that.
Yeah,
They're gonna give me fucking
whatever.
oh man. So but yeah, so we'll wait and see. We'll definitely monitor this one and we'll bring it up more. If there's more stuff that comes out tomorrow, things like that, we will
Would not be
absolutely
surprised.
talk more about the Trump things and all that type of stuff because it'll be interesting. Hack. Don't be Gabby Giffords. There
Gabby,
you go. Yes,
thank you,
thank you,
Nate.
Nate. Nate, you are the third host. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, no, Hack, don't worry about if Dave has a lover. Let's get you someone as well.
Don't pay attention to our conversation. Just keep going with the show.
No,
We're just talking.
I can make fun of Hack all I want, okay? Yeah, I can always make fun of Hack. But all right. So we're gonna move on from Trump. Like I said, if anything more comes from it, we will absolutely bring it up.
Yeah, this is still a developing story.
is
There's still going to
absolutely
be a lot that's probably going to come out about this shit.
But the funny thing is, what it will be is when this all comes out, especially if it is something, what I guarantee the headline that they set up though is another Republican makes an attempt at Trump's life. That is going to be, I guarantee,
it's going to be something like
Washington
that.
Times,
Trump's
New
rhetoric.
York Times, all these fucking
Yeah.
leftists of, Washington Post, not Washington Times. All these leftist organizations are going to come out and say another Republican attempts Trump's life. Will he ever tone down the rhetoric? Like that's what it's going to be. So it's fucking crazy. Jared Laffner. Who is Jared Laffner? Who the fuck is Jared Laffner, Nate?
It's pretty funny though. Either way.
Yeah, honestly. All right. So we're gonna move on to our next topic at hand here. Dave, I got this.
American mass murderer. Hold up. 1988 born.
Nate, do we need to find out about
Arizona.
you? What do we know about you, Nate? Are you actually Jared Laffner, Nate?
He did say Jared was just insane. So I mean,
that is true. Jared was just all right. So we're pulling this up. So Breitbart has this story. New York high school students to stage a walkout in support of women's sports. So they
He was the one that killed Gabby Giffords.
or
Okay.
attempted to kill her.
Yeah.
He didn't
Yes.
kill
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Abby
Sorry.
survived.
Yes.
Okay. So we attempted to kill her. All right.
Yes.
Thank you for that, Nate. But you know what though? I'm almost happy I didn't fucking know about this guy because it's one of those things. I don't have like the Daily Wire standard of we don't talk about shooters.
Yeah.
Be-
He just
But
said
it's
he
like,
shot Gabby Giffords.
okay,
Yeah.
I
Found
don't have that standard, but I don't want to give them too much light because fuck these people. They're all psychos and they
Mhm.
deserve to not have any fame. But anyway, let's go on to this one again. The high school students staging a walkout. High school students in the state of New York will stage a walkout this month in support of women's sports. Organized by the Coalition to Protect Kids. The Walk Off for Fairness Day event will occur on October 24th. Now, this is in response to Proposition 1 that is coming up in this election, where they are basically trying to codify gender identity as a protected class in New York State. And what that is a lot of people are saying when this happens, that will now make it illegal in order to say trans kids can't participate in, trans men to girls can't participate in girls sports because now it will be illegal by the state to discriminate.
Mhm.
So this is an answer to Prop 1. Now, Dave, I don't know how you feel about this. I dislike getting kids involved in this organized manner. If individual students want to come out and say things because they see something's wrong, or teams, or if coaches want to pull their teams off the field, or parents want to do that, different, right? That is a different situation. But to organize students in protest, high school kids, I am against high school kids being activists. I don't fucking like it unless they want to do it themselves and they pursue it. That's something that they're interested in. I always liked politics when I was younger. So I understand enjoying and liking politics, wanting to be involved and understanding it. I get that. I am not a fan of having an organized thing to get these kids involved and to make them feel, because you know what? All these kids are going to walk out. How many of these kids actually believe in it? You know what I mean? It's like one of those things, the same pressure that we're giving to accept LGBTQ bullshit, I feel like you're going to be putting on some of those kids as well. While we believe in this cause, I still don't like it. What do you think about it, Dave?
I get where you're coming from, but I also wonder in the aspect of if you don't implement your values on your kids, someone else will, just like what's been happening this whole entire time. So yeah, there is an aspect of, you're putting another part of pressure onto high school students in that way. But to be completely honest with you, a part of me, I don't know exactly how much, if they're making high school kids fucking do this. I have no idea exactly about this walkout. So if they're just starting the walkout in a way and they're asking high school students if they want to do it, obviously some students are going to do it just to get out of class, which is fine because they do that in the other direction too.
Yeah.
But something needs to be done in some of these aspects.
It
And a
does.
lot of high school students might feel a certain way, but if no one's going to help them try to voice that, then they're never going to do anything and they're never going to actually. So I don't know. There's a lot of things that go into that. And I get what you're saying in that you don't want to really put any of that pressure on high school students. But in another aspect, they're already being taken down a certain path. They're already being politicized in a lot of fucking ways. And there's a try to maybe try to neutralize it out without doing any kind of walkouts or any kind of way of trying to put pressure on them. But how exactly do you do that? Because that's not necessarily a thing that you could just do.
So in my eyes, this is up for the adults to stand up for the kids more than the kids to do this, right? And I get it. Yeah, because you know what?
But
adults, they sit there and get out and actually get out and fucking vote against Prop 1 to make sure, because these kids can't vote. These kids walking out is still not going to get vote.
Yes, but also we have to recognize that these kids, most kids, unless like teenage boys, the ones that actually have confidence in themselves won't do this, but most teenagers go with the most empathetic thing. They go where the most social pressure is, and the parents can say as much as they fucking want. They might not win that battle unless they actually try to get through to their teenagers, and unless, you can go in the whole route about parenting, but unless you actually try to get through to your teenager about being yourself and actually being able to voice your beliefs, they're just going to go the route that has the most power and that has the most empathy and has the thing that's just going to go along to get along. And it's
I
not
agree.
like, because I get it, but
And
we
like
also
I said, if the kids want to do it,
Mhm,
that's one thing.
mhm.
If these kids are organizing it on their own, because I've heard of that going on in high schools where you get a
Yeah.
group of kids that do it on their own.
Yeah.
Kudos, do that. And I don't care if it's for the other way too. If you get a bunch of kids that are fucking tree huggers, and if they're not being super influenced for it and they want to sit there and stage something, go for it. Because that's something that I just dislike when I don't want college kids to be involved because they're fucking retarded. They don't live in the real world, right? College kids are stupid. But I don't know. For me,
Eh,
this is more of a thing of, a parent needs to make sure they protect their daughters. If you see a trans kid on the other team and your coach doesn't do anything, you pull your daughter off that fucking field. You do that. You don't let her be out there. If you're a coach, it is absolutely your responsibility. I hate seeing these videos where these trans girls are fucking girls up in volleyball, basketball, soccer. That coach should be fired immediately because that coach should be pulling their team off the field. I don't care if it's a penalty. I don't care what the school gets. I am not, because safety should be the number one concern for all of your student athletes as a coach. And if it costs you your job, at least you can go to bed sleeping at night going, none of these girls got fucking hurt on my watch. And I just think that the parents in the room should be the ones doing this. Now, again, it will send a powerful message if schools across the New York State, this is an organized walkout. They do it. Yes, it'll make national headlines. It'll be powerful. But at the same time, I do not like high school kids becoming politicized. They are already, and I get it. We're not doing it, but it's one of those things that it's like, it's the same argument for like, oh, China's going to do it, so United States has to do X, Y. You know what I mean? I don't like that. I don't know. It's just a personal thing for me.
Not exactly in that situation. I feel like that's a difficult framing that you're putting it into. I think the thing is that, look, we honestly, the biggest issue is that we've infantilized our kids to a point where
Yeah.
they cannot stand up for themselves. So we've already fucked them over in a certain way where they just go on that path of a leftist of leftist empathy throughout this whole thing. So there's a lot of course correction that needs to be done in that manner. And I'm not saying to actively get your kid political, but I am saying to have your kid understand reality in some fucking way and understanding of having them being able to stand their ground on something. And like I said, I don't know how these walkouts are being organized.
Neither.
I don't even know how many parents are actually organizing them. It might not be that many parents organizing them, or the parents might only be organizing them because their kid asked them to do it, because their kid wants to do it, but they don't have the ability to get a far-reaching voice and to be able to actually do the things that might need money. So I'm not entirely sure, but all I'm saying is that you need to be able to do something in order to go against what is happening. And just saying, I'm going to make it as neutral as possible does not work, will not work, and that's how you lose a battle. Because unfortunately, I know you don't want to. I know people don't want to be in a battle, but right now the battle's being taken to you, and you can't necessarily play defense all the whole time. You have to have some kind of offense. Obviously not going too far, but doing a simple walkout, saying we don't want to fuck with this. Like there's enough's enough on this. Stop it. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It's just depending on how it's done, obviously. But I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing.
Hack, I think this might be the most intelligent thing you ever said.
Yes, especially DMX doing the cover of Reading Rainbow. That is one of the best covers ever.
Yes, it 100% is. But again, it's hard for me. It's hard for me, especially with young girls. And, I don't want them to get in. Again, if they're interested in the politics, I'm not going to stop them from being interested. Our father didn't stop us. I was always very political. We had conversations and we were steered a certain way.
The issue is, I think where it lands for me right here is because it's not just a political discussion right now. It's not about, the kids are walking out because they don't want tariffs or something like that. No, the kids are walking out because they believe in biological reality. The kids are walking out because if we do not believe in reality in some fucking objective fashion, they're going to get hurt in sports. Certain things are going to happen in schools, like in Loudoun County in Northern Virginia, where a kid sexually assaulted a girl in the bathroom, but because he identified a certain way, was just pushed to another school where he did it again. Yep. So there's a whole different aspect to this. It's not the framing of left versus right. It's not the framing of just political. It's the framing of actually believing in reality or in believing in something objective.
I agree. So also, I guess we'll end this topic as this. Parents, step the fuck up. So your kids don't have to do this. I guess that's the best way to put it.
That's
That
fine.
if
Yeah.
the parents were stronger and if they were sitting there and opening their eyes, and I get it. I work every day. My wife works every day, but get involved. And I know in high school it's hard. Middle school it's hard. Your kids aren't telling you everything. They're kids. They're in puberty. They don't want to talk to you very much. But step up. When you see it, don't be afraid to go to that school board meeting. Anybody can reach out to me, message me. I've looked at this shit. I understand what's going on. If you think there's something fishy going on in your school, if you think that there is something, social emotional learning, diversity, inclusion, equity, critical race theory, any sort of that shit, any sort of globalist agenda, Agenda 2030, the 27 sustainability goals of the UN, any of that shit, you hear any of that floating in your stratosphere of your school, feel free to message me. We can talk about it. We can strategize. We can game plan. I can connect you with people that may be able to help you if you don't understand or know how to battle this. If you're scared to go up against your school board, we can find some resources for you. You're not alone and you're not wrong. That's one thing people need to remember. You're not wrong. You are right about fighting this. And when you step up and say something, people will come and support you because your viewpoint is the correct viewpoint. And the sad thing is, all of these parents that are allowing their kids to be trans are fucking with them for the most part because they are, they're sitting there and letting these kids make their massive changes to their body. And I can't imagine being the parent of a boy that becomes a girl and then goes and fucks girls up in sports and being proud of that kid. Like, I'm sorry. That is despicable by the parents as well, to allow your son to become a girl and hurt other girls. Like how far we've come from when Ladybugs was a fantastic comedy about a dude, Rodney Dangerfield picking up a boy to help him with the girls' soccer club. And now that was a comedy we laughed at because we knew it was fucking stupid. But at the same time, now it's becoming a reality. So Dave, I mean, I understand where you're coming from, and I think maybe you've brought me around a little more that this is something that needs to happen. But I just wish that more parents would get their fucking heads out of the sand. And you know what? Don't go watch The Voice that night. Don't go watch that football game.
The Voice is a pretty good show, though.
Great show. But or the Masked Singer or anything like that. Just go and, attend that school board meeting. Go to that council meeting that might have something. Look up your minutes instead of fucking scrolling TikTok or Reels or Facebook or whatever it is that you're on. Maybe jump on your town website real quick and see if there's anything important on the board minutes. Take a little bit of time, okay? Because, man, it's fucking terrible. So wait, hold on. Hack wants to jump on.
No. Don't pay attention to that.
Oh, if Hack wants to jump on, he's more than welcome to jump
No.
on. Fuck you, Hack. All right. Anyway, Dave, we're going to go on to the next topic. Dave, let's talk some Pokemon.
Yes, we're going to talk something actually fucking huge. I'm not going to lie to you.
That's what
so, yeah. So what had happened is a huge monster leak. It is being called a TERALEAK of Game Freak. Game Freak, the company that makes Pokemon games, suffered a TERALEAK that includes 25 plus years of never before seen Pokemon art, assets, documents, and even canceled movies. And it has spoilers for upcoming Pokemon games. I believe it had some spoilers for things for like the Switch 2. There's some things about the Switch 2. It has so much in this leak. It is being poured through by people. And it's huge. I really didn't read this article very much, but we can just look at some of the list here. Whip stripes from Gen 3, 4, and 5 Pokemon games. Concept art for the original 1997 Pokemon. In fact, not from the 1997 anime, but from Gen 3, if I remember correctly. There's actually Mudkip wasn't a starter at one point. It was some kind of water bunny. That was in the concept art. Yeah.
I mean,
they still had a Torchic and I can't remember his name.
Mudkip, Torchic, and
Trico. They still had those two, but Mudkip wasn't a thing at first. There was some kind of water bunny that had a floaty. It was actually pretty cute. But they also had
be adorable.
Yeah. They also had design Bible background lore on the Pokemon setting, and that's accurate. Bible background lore. I've read some of it, and it is literally written like the Bible about how Pokemon came to be.
So here's what makes me sad. They just really should have just made an open world fucking Skyrim-esque Pokemon game, very big, and you could have had books like they did in Skyrim, and you could have been reading Pokemon Bible lore.
I don't know if they wanted to do, I don't know exactly. There's probably even more about the shit that they wanted to do in this leak that might not have been seen yet.
Probably.
But it has minutes from Pokemon Company meeting about concluding the 26-year journey of perpetual 10-year-old Ash Ketchum, top line pitches for a Detective Pikachu movie sequel, as well as a movie with the working title Game Boy, Ounce, a code name for the Switch 2. So then that's just a little bit. That's
Nintendo is going to make the most money when they bury whoever the fuck.
Oh, the person that leaked this might as well be dead at this point.
Yeah,
I think Nintendo might actually kill
Nintendo's going to kill them because no one is more buttoned up with their shit
them.
than Nintendo. Miyamoto is actually going to go to their house personally and stab them.
No, it's going to be a vicious blunt force trauma, just a consistent beating until they're done.
But they're like a live stream them fucking. That'll be the whole video game. They will make a video game out of them torturing this individual pixelized.
Yes. And if you do want to follow the leaks, Centro Leaks has been on top of it. They've put out basically all of it. This is their pinned tweet. This just happened yesterday. And they've been putting out a whole bunch of stuff. More beta Gen 5 Pokemon right here. Like, there's just so much in.
And here's the thing.
Fucking dumb.
We've gotten these types of things in bits and pieces before because I've seen reels and shit like that of like, this is like what Pokemon were supposed, like, this is the type of stuff, like these should have been certain starters and we've hacked into some of the code, and this is what this evolution was supposed to look like, or the pre-evolutions, and how like there was a bunch of the things that we were getting from later games already in the data code of like red, blue, and green, and yellow and stuff like that. That's been there.
Yeah.
But in order to get like a massive,
this is fucking huge.
What goes crazy to me, and I think what was going to piss off Game Freak and Nintendo more, is the future stuff. I feel like if it was all the past stuff, they'd be annoyed, but whatever. Okay, those were models from the past. We didn't release them, and they've done, I don't think they've gone after anyone for doing that.
No, they still might shiv you, but it won't be as bad. It would be quick death.
I'm curious how much actionable is the future stuff, because that could be class action lawsuit actionable. Because
we can go over some of the future stuff right here. So Centro Leaks has.
Are we going to get sued?
No, we'll be fine. So in the video games category, Pokemon Legends Z to A, people have already been speculating about this from the trailer that was released. I believe it's going to be like an Arceus type game, which Arceus got very good praise. I didn't play it, but I've seen some gameplay. It looked like a fun game.
Arceus looked fun. The graphics actually looked pretty decent too. The fighting animation was actually pretty top notch in terms of what Pokemon is.
Good spin off to what Pokemon is. And everything, so it looked like good. And then, it wasn't exactly open world, but it was like as close as you're going to get from Pokemon. To be
you could wander a little bit more than normal.
Yeah, originally planned to release in 2024. Obviously, we're not getting that. Will feature Mega Zygarde, Mega Zorora in development for the current Switch, which is interesting.
Nate, it's funny, we all asked for this.
Yeah, exactly. What Joe just said before you, I'm saying this for years.
Pokemon doing a proper open world, and Hack saying we've been saying this for years. Yeah, go for it. Sorry, Dave.
Pokemon Gaia, that's a code name. That's Gen 10, 2 versions, K and N. The main theme will be island exploring in an archipelago. In development for Switch 2, but a version for Switch 1 is being tested. Pokemon Synapse, new multiplayer Pokemon game, which is interesting. Collaboration between ILCA and Game Freak, has been described as Splatoon-like, not an MMO.
What?
I don't know what that means.
What the fuck?
Could be really good. Splatoon, I mean, a lot of people have fun with Splatoon.
Splatoon's legendary in the gaming world.
Now here we go into TV and film. Project Bauer. Jack Bauer? Movie 24. I can see why. In development hell since 2021. Current status unclear. Will be a fresh start for the movie universe with a new protagonist. That's interesting. Set in Kanto, only the original 151. Main mythical the movie will be Mew, and directed by Kobin Sujino. That's interesting. I actually like that idea, especially because, Ash is basically done. He tried to tackle God. He's been through all of it. So starting over is not bad.
Here's the thing. The lore of the size of Ash's cock and balls is ridiculous.
Pokemon Kulak Archipelago. That's
Pokemon Kulak Archipelago.
That's terrifying.
How the fuck can you make Pokemon Splatoon? But I guess we'll find out one day, Hacker. Maybe we won't.
Look,
But like,
I don't doubt
honestly,
Nintendo and creativity. I do doubt Game Freak because Game Freak put out some stinkers. Honestly, at least to me, I'm not a huge Pokemon guy, but I've seen basically every game because I have friends who are huge Pokemon guys. So like Sword and Shield, I didn't like. But when it came to Arceus, I thought that was a good direction. And honestly, if they're going to actually be creative on that thing and make this multiplayer Splatoon-like Pokemon game, I'll give them a chance. I'll see how it is.
and here's the thing with the reboot in terms of like a new character, I'm interested to see, are they going to start in Palette? Are they going to start in one of the other
Well,
towns?
no, they're
Like,
starting to Kanto.
well, I mean, no, I mean, what part of
Oh,
Kanto? Like,
you mean
you know,
game-wise or movie-wise?
like,
Sorry.
but what do we call it? They're talking about the reset, right? That's the movie reset.
Yeah, the movie. Yes, yeah.
But are they like, because all the people we've ever seen, they start off in Palette and then we watch them wander around the rest of Kanto.
Yeah.
But are they going to start off now in Viridian? Are they just going to be in Cerulean? Like,
That is a good question.
there's kids that live everywhere and they
What else
start
would
their
happen?
adventures everywhere, right?
Yes,
It would
yes.
be pretty dope. Start them off in fucking Cinnabar Island and let them look up to Blaine, and now
That
boom,
would be yes.
like
That
here's the
would
thing,
be
and
cool.
now they're in water. So do they get a fire Pokemon and join it, or do they have to get a water Pokemon? Do they have to take a ferry? Like all of this shit could be really relevant as to the lore that we already know.
Yep.
Do they start off in fucking what's that ghost town?
Lavender.
They have so many. Lavender Town.
Yeah.
They have so many options and shit that they can do.
Mhm.
And again, it says the original 151. Are they going to release all 151, or are they going to give us the same exact split they gave in blue and red and just make it so nostalgia buried and everything? Like, here's the thing. Even with these plans out there, I'm still excited for what they might do.
No, it's actually interesting.
Pokemon.
I have taken a stance recently in basically everything that I don't care about spoilers. I more care about the things that happen to get to the spoilers and the impact that it'll eventually have. So like these things don't matter to me. Sorry if you cared about this, but it's not that much in depth of what's happening. So I think it's fine.
If you're a Pokemon fan, finding out about some of these things just makes you more excited because number one, you get one good game out of every 4 right now. So you're hoping this information that you like will be the one good game because they kind of pack it in for 3 of them and then they give you one good one. So then the fans keep coming. I don't know how many times in our friend group and a bunch of them have said like, I'm done with Pokemon, and then they do it and they always fucking buy it. They always buy it, play it, and then they get that one that's really good, and they're like, I'll give the next one. Fuck them, they got me again. Like, that's exactly how this cycle goes.
Yeah, but okay, we have Project Reload, new original TV anime, 12 episodes of 21 minutes, animated by Studio Colorido, in development since at least 2022, current status unclear. Great Detective Pikachu, sequel to Detective Pikachu, in development since 2021, directed by Jordan Vogt Roberts. So current status unclear, unknown if canceled.
So Dave, I want to answer Hack real quick. Would you keep an open world Skyrim like Pokemon turn-based or switch to fighting around the bit?
I would think like Final Fantasy. I can't remember which one. There's been multiple Final Fantasies where it's like turn-based, but you're kind of moving depending on the mana buildup.
So
but yeah, sorry.
I'll give mine. So here's the one that I've always fantasized about. And all the controllers have 4 buttons, right? And you already have 4 attacks. What I would do is you can kind of enter into another screen in a way where it kind of sections off your battle area. Because basically when you battle in Pokemon, you have they always have like a battle area they're fighting in. And within that battle area, you can then control whatever Pokemon you want. You can use your bumpers to strafe and things like that. Because in the Pokemon battles in the anime, there's always dodging. Everything's involved. There's skill. And all 4 of your buttons can be what attack you have. And then you could figure out the mechanics from there. I think that would make the battle so much more fucking interesting if you could just control the Pokemon. And as you're pressing it, you hear your trainer yelling your commands and things like that. But you now control that Pokemon. So your skill will have something to do. I'm
smack the fuck out of microphone.
But your skill as like a player would have a lot to do with it on top of, and I think like when like Team Rocket comes in and they throw 2 at you, it's just the fucking manicness of having to do that would be a lot of fun. Yeah. That would be my way of doing it because, like I said, the 4 buttons are already built for the 4 attacks. So you can already do it there. And then like you could do like rolls and strafes. And like, I think that would be the best way for me because I feel like turn-based as that's fun. If you're going to do open world, controlling the Pokemon, imagine like controlling a Bulbasaur and just vine whipping a bitch. Like sitting there, it's like you're pistol whipping someone. Like, let's do it. Like, that'd be great.
Yeah. And the last but not least, or maybe least, because Netflix. Project Discovery, Netflix live action. 8 episodes for the first season, up to 5 seasons are being considered. No more details available. Honestly, that might be the closest to being done with Netflix.
The thing
Netflix
is,
just likes to pump shit out.
Netflix
So.
are greenlit. If
Yeah.
they, but the one thing that I do trust with Pokemon, with the movies and with Nintendo, if it's live action, it's going to be semi-faithful and it will be entertaining.
We hope
Because
so.
I didn't have very high hopes for Detective Pikachu. I thought it was going to be okay. Ryan Reynolds as the voice was fun. That kid that's the actor, he's not a bad actor. You know, in general, he's decent. He's good in rom-coms and shit like that. But seeing him out there, and then when I went and watched it, the way they treated the Pokemon was so legit. Like all the Pokemon acted like you thought they would. The world, the way they fleshed it out, seemed very like a world that was ubiquitous with Pokemon. Justice Smith and people that would have them as like their friends walking around, because they always did it in the anime. Like they always had that one super buddy Pokemon. Every trainer had that one, and you saw that. And basically, like the world with Pokemon being fleshed out, it felt very natural without them having to do a whole bunch of explaining it. So even if you never saw Pokemon, you kind of understood the gist of this world based off the guy too, because he didn't have a Pokemon. That wasn't his thing, and he was the outcast. And everyone's like, "Oh, you're gonna get one," and that was kind of the running thing. But you understood it without a whole bunch of talking about it, but a whole bunch of explanation.
Yeah.
So if they do this live action, it's something I'll give a shot, because I don't feel like Nintendo is not going to let their property get butchered. They refuse to. That's one of the things that Nintendo.
I will say this: they give a lot more leeway to Game Freak to do what they want with Pokemon, and that's why the quality has dipped in some of the games. I truly believe that to be a thing. Because I also don't think they fully own Pokemon. Nintendo.
I think there's a third. They have a third game.
Yeah, they have a third, so they don't necessarily have to say over that like they had to say over Mario and Zelda and Metroid and other games.
I agree, but I just don't think Pokemon or Nintendo or even Game Freak will let something like a Netflix series, which will be massive on launch, regardless, see the light of day unless it's at least in the spirit of Pokemon. I would love to see them do a live action with Gary O. Go fucking follow Gary around. That would be incredible. Follow that prodigy and let's see his journey, because it's such a different journey. And eventually he comes around. He's not the asshole we all thought he was, right? By the time him and Ash get into like their second or third battle in the league, you don't hate Gary. Gary's just another trainer, and they're actually friends and legitimate rivals. And I feel like a story like that, we saw Ash's story. Let's see Gary's. Yeah. I feel like that would be a sick fucking thing that they should explore as well.
Also, this picture looks like they're all about to fuck Pikachu up. I don't know why this is the picture that
actually Charmeleon looks like he's about to grab Pikachu and just fuck him. Like Charmeleon.
Well, no, he looks like he's about to hug him. That looks wholesome.
No.
That looks wholesome.
That does not look wholesome to me.
But you can follow. You could follow Central Leaks. If you want to see more, they have spoilers right above it.
Follow Central Leaks while you can, because Central Leaks is probably going to die.
Yeah, there might be an issue there. They're not the ones that leaked it; they're the ones that are just compiling.
That's just as bad.
Yeah, and I will be remiss if I don't mention this. Apparently, the developers and some of the people that have been working on Pokemon have written horny fanfics about human Pokemon relations, which is really weird, but apparently that's a thing, and that's being found in these leaks, and it's insane.
I mean, listen, you don't have those horny thoughts while in not make Lopunny. Like, you know, the motherfuckers that made Lopunny were horny as shit. They had to be. They had to be.
I'm pretty sure this is a part of horny, because they're saying, okay, what the fuck, Game Freak?
Lopunny's the closest thing to being a lolly that you're gonna fucking see in Pokemon, okay?
Oh, Jesus Christ, they played cruel games with the captured Slackoths, sometimes killing them for okay. Yeah, Game Freak's a little insane. I didn't read many of these leaks, to be completely honest with you. I've only seen some of them like this. But
Dave, in their defense, because that seemed like dark, right?
Yeah.
The Pokemon manga is very
dark.
Is dark. There is death. Pokemon die. There's actual humans fighting and death with the humans. Like, there are real stakes with Red and Pokemon Adventures and things like that. It is not as campy as we saw in the anime. Like, the manga is very much deeper, just like the Yu-Gi-Oh manga is much more adult. You know, Yugi just fucking plays tricks and kills people. Like, he fucks with people, and he leaves them like paralyzed or dumbfounded. And in the same thing in the Pokemon one, like, Red is a legitimate hero. Team Rocket's legitimately evil. You know, the Elite Four in the manga, spoilers, are legitimate evil. And the gym
spoilers, it's been out for a long. Who cares?
I don't know, but if you listen, it could be new for somebody. Manga, you pick up, it's new that time, right?
Yeah, but still.
but they are the big evil with Team Rocket, and the gym leaders are your allies. And it's like there isn't that massive divide that you have in the games where the gym leaders are weaker, much weaker than the Elite Four. Like the gym leaders are legitimately strong. And the war, like there's a real war with Pokemon dying, humans dying in Pokemon Adventures. So if you haven't read it, I highly recommend going to read Pokemon Adventures. It's really fucking good and well thought out. And if they try to go in that direction with the live action, might really hit.
I doubt it.
Might really hit.
I think it would make if they want to make it somewhat good, they would follow One Piece's formula where they might change around some things
in the first episode.
No, but they might change around some things. But overall, it's faithful to kind of like what the anime was, because that's what most people remember. And honestly, it's a pretty good story. The anime was a pretty good story without it just being campy fun.
The thing that's going to be hard is how many times Ash should be dead from the things this Pokemon does to him.
As long as you don't
electrocuted or set on fucking fire,
you can do that. Because as long as you don't Cowboy Bebop it, you're fine. Like I said, One Piece, like the stretching in Luffy with One Piece in the live action wasn't like
good.
A digital masterpiece.
It looked pretty good.
But it looked good enough, and it wrote it well enough where it's just like, I can allow it to be kind of shit.
Do you have actors that give a shit too?
Yes.
Do you have
because like the One Piece actors
give a
legitimately
shit?
loved One
They
Piece.
praised Oda. They were pumped to be a part of it. Meeting Oda, like you could see that
that video
saw some behind the scenes, and you saw it wasn't fake.
Yeah, I can't remember what that actor's name is. The main protagonist, the one that plays Luffy.
Fact check. It didn't leak a minute ago. It leaked yesterday.
Yeah, it leaked yesterday.
But definitely go check it out.
Some stuff might have leaked a minute ago, but
some stuff might have come out.
Big leak what happened yesterday.
It seems like they're going through all the shit, so more things may be coming out. So the source code
for an unreleased game just leaked.
Oh my Lanta, the source
I think I might have seen that as well. Yeah, okay. We can't go into everything. We'll be here all night. But it's fucking awesome. This huge leak is awesome. Like I said, go follow Centro Leaks. Centro Leaks will have it. Most likely will have it all. And honestly, if you follow them, you go to For You, you'll probably even see more than just them talking about the leaks.
Dave, real quick, what should Farrell start with? If we want to get him to watch it animated,
if you want to see how hardcore he'll get into it, start him off with JoJo and leave him to the fucking wolves. But honestly, I will say
he hangs out with Hack because he's a homoerotic, so I might work.
Cowboy Bebop's a good one, but Cowboy Bebop is different from other anime that you'll get into, so you can like Cowboy Bebop and not like others. I will always say this: the first part of Sword Art is a very good start. It's a very good starter anime. You don't watch past a certain point, and you know what that point is once you get to it. You don't watch past that because there's no reason to. The first part of Sword Art Online, very good starter anime, at least to me. It's
the first part, but then you don't want to get them sucked in and make them want to watch the second part because eyes bleed.
You give them that warning that you better fucking heed that warning as a weeblet. You better heed that warning.
It's unverified at the moment. It's coming from a friend of the third-party leakers Discord. Hey, you know what? Shit on Discord. The leaks on Discord usually aren't off. You know what I mean? So it's like if it's there's a good chance, and the autists in those Discords will figure it out.
We'll be following that.
We
might talk about it more tomorrow, depending on how big of an update it is. Honestly, I should start making videos and just start talking about that shit.
You should be doing a lot of things that you don't.
I know. Also, I do want to show love to Nate. Edmonton Oilers suck, which is hilarious to see in between all of this. But yeah, the leak is crazy. I can't wait to see more like Fact Check just coming in and saying source code for a game. That's ape shit. Like we're gonna get so much from this leak. And Game Freak is actually gonna kill the person that leaked it.
So the thing is too, what's crazy is with that, someone's gonna go fucking make this game. If there's a source code out there leaked, someone's going to take this game and
make the game. They're going to be able to rip so much and see so much of what is coming down the pike, the things that they have thought of doing, which if you thought of doing it, there's always a possibility that comes up again. And like I said,
they work for Power World, the person that released this. So,
they're on Power World's side.
You're going to take it from us. You're going to sue us. Boom. Let's get everything you got. Watch it, period. Don't watch it with listen, if you're gonna watch it with OD, no, you want to watch something with OD and just fuck with them, just show him Kill la Kill. OD back.
No, don't do Kill la Kill with OD. Don't do Kill la Kill with OD.
Food Wars. Do Food Wars.
No. His view of you will change completely. But I do want to say this about the leak. Like I said, we got biblical accurate lore
Which
of how
crazy.
Pokemon works, of how the universe started, and everything that have to do with humans and Pokemon. Like, this is the basis, the
You
foundation of
had
what
to
they're
go
doing
that deep though
Pokemon
with a
off
lot
of.
of their lore, with
And
Arceus and Celebi and the way those
yeah,
things work with the Deoxys. Like there has
yes,
to be
and
that lore there.
exactly. And what I will say though is it shows that even though I think that they put out some stinkers, and I
Of
think that
course.
they've laxed on some games, they fucking care about this shit, man. Like they are balls deep in a lot
They
of
made a trash bag Pokemon. They don't care that much. So
well,
that's
no,
not
but
gonna
I'm
fuck
saying
them.
if you're gonna go that deep into a
Yeah,
lore, you
yeah.
know it actually matters to you.
Yeah, there is someone that is
Yeah.
there. So all right. So where we at? We're about an hour deep. We're gonna go a little more. Let's finish up what we got, Dave.
Yeah,
So
we
we'll
might have
be
to
a
move
little bit quicker. Those were
Yeah.
our big three.
Yes.
So I think this story is important because I think it's absolutely hilarious, not gonna lie. So it's Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, the Harris Biden administration is suing South Bend, Indiana, because too few black people, I hate when they say blacks. I think it's fucking weird. Daily Wire hates blacks. Too few black people and females passing the police exam and fitness test. So why I find it funny is they're suing South Bend, Indiana. That is Mayor Pete's
Yes.
former jurisdiction. And by all intents and purposes, from what the police chief said, they've been doing it this way for decades. So
Not
this
surprised.
fitness test was there when Mayor Pete was there. Okay. So let's just keep this in mind. So let's jump into what they have to say real quick. According to the lawsuit, the fewer black and female police applicants are passing the written exam and fitness test, respectively, than white males. The DOJ claims that due to discriminatory tests, which alleged violate the Title VII of the Civil Rights Act. So here's one thing that's funny here. So the DOJ alleges that South Bend uses written examination that discriminates against black applicants. Okay, let me stop right there. Fucking racist motherfucker.
Yeah, the worst part,
okay?
like, there's so many jokes that could come to my head that would get this stream canceled. And I don't want to say any of them.
But it's like a judge looks at that and they should look at them and be like, this is one of the most racist things I've ever read. So you're telling me that because the written test is difficult, that black people by default can't pass it at a lower level. This isn't even like they call like, oh, the bigotry of low expectations. No, this is flat out racism. Okay.
Well, I mean, it still is the bigotry of low
But
expectations.
that's not a thing.
That's
The biggest-
racism.
But that,
No,
that
but
is racism. I'm not even going to call it that. We should get rid of that fucking thing. It is just flat out racism, because that is quite literally saying that because of an immutable characteristic, they are not as smart as other applicants.
Yeah,
That's it.
And I will say this, and because it also says a physical fitness.
Oh, I'm going to
test
get to that.
discriminates.
I'm going to get
Yeah.
to that. And
But
a physical fitness test that discriminates against female applicants.
Yeah, and I can't remember. I got it from Devin Tracy, another content creator.
Yeah.
But he usually talks about like the racism of the gaps, or like the sexism of the gaps. And what he means by that is like if there's any type of gap, they fill that in as in racism.
Well, that's what mapping the margins is with Kimberly Crenshaw. And
Yes.
It's essentially mapping them and trying to get them centered.
Exactly.
Well, that's
so
what
they
trying to
don't
do.
look for any other explanation other than, oh, the thing has to be racist, or
Yes.
oh, the thing has to be sexist, instead of just like, okay, maybe they just can't do it for some reason, or maybe you're getting certain people from a certain region that are not as well equipped for that certain test as others might be. There's a whole bunch of different explanations that there could be, but they always land on racism or sexism first, and then they go backwards from that.
And the thing is, too, like the complaint that the physical fitness test that discriminates against female applicants, motherfucker, it should be hard, okay? If you're going to be a police officer, it should be hard. And the thing is, too, let's go to the next line. Notably, the South Bend Police Department lowered their fitness standards in 2019 in an attempt to include more females on the force, which, again, that should be a discriminatory practice in itself.
And
that standards need to be lowered is saying that you are a lesser individual for this job by default.
And not even just that, you are also hurting them whenever they pass and they become a police officer, because if they don't have certain physical requirements, then they can be harassed by someone that they're trying to put in cuffs that they might not be able to, because they're not physically able to have them settle down, put them down, and be able to put them into cuffs.
And on top of that, the bottom line is we give the police the authority to use their firearms whenever they feel threatened for physical harm and potential.
I'm not going to bring up the Sam Hyde clip. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Don't bring it
I
up.
might do it. I might do it, but I'm not doing it.
Bring it up. But in general, when they feel threatened. Now, a woman that has a lower physical fitness score, that is not as strong, not as fast, not as agile, is going to feel threatened for their life sooner than a male who can pass a harder test. So now we are lowering the threshold for when a police officer is going to try to attempt to use deadly force. This is all around. It does not work well. Dave, do you want to bring up the Sam Hyde clip? Go ahead, bring up the Sam Hyde talking clip.
I haven't watched this short, so it might go a little crazy.
All right, let's see what we got.
If you ever catch the eye of a female cop, hope you wore your bulletproof vest. Hope you got your vest on, man. I'm praying for you, unironically, because that gun on her waist at some point is going to accidentally go off. She's going to draw it out thinking it's a taser. She's going to have her finger on the trigger before she's ready to fire.
The officer drew their handgun instead of their taser.
Something you did made her feel threatened. You're taller than her. She feels threatened for her life. The only recourse she has physically is to shoot you.
This was an accidental discharge.
I just hope that if you ever get pulled over by a woman, you're wearing a fucking bulletproof vest and a Kevlar helmet. I hope you're decked out like a PUBG character, because that's what you need to survive a female cop encounter.
You know, and the thing is too, and that's why we call the gun the great equalizer, right?
That was the Ghost of Kiev, Sam Hyde.
Yeah, the Ghost of Kiev. But that's why we call the gun the great equalizer, because when an individual that has lesser prowess is feeling threatened, the gun will equalize the situation, right? And that is ridiculous. So, Nate over here, did you see the video of the all-female? I did see that.
Is that the Spanish one?
I believe so. And they got, and the thing is, here's the thing, Nate, that was the discriminatory contest. The standard should have been lowered. The women should have had lower things to jump over. They should have had shorter distances to run. And then it would have been an actual fair competition. But because it was equal, it was obviously meant to discriminate and humiliate those women. So, Hack, what are you saying here? Let's see.
He's talking about Notre Dame.
So, did you know that after the Brady Quinn era in Notre Dame got its own zip code, actually separate from South Bend. It's actually Notre Dame, Indiana. I don't care about the zip code. In 2009, became Notre Dame, Indiana zip code. That's actually a fun fact I didn't know. But it's still considered South Bend, and everyone says South Bend. So, Hack, we're going to go with South Bend because fuck you. Anyway. So here's another thing that works against all this shit. They're already woke. Equal employment opportunity is critical to ensuring that law enforcement agencies do not unfairly exclude otherwise eligible job applicants based on discriminatory practice. That was from the Attorney General. Now, there is a quote from, here it is. I am beyond disappointed that the DOJ has not been forthcoming with how these claims are determined in the first place. Our hiring process, which includes females and African-American applicants, has been consistent over the last 10 years and led to an increasingly diverse department, especially over the past several years. Increasingly diverse department usually means a less effective and unsafe one for the community.
Honestly, I just think the DOJ is bored. I think they're bored.
Trump's not in office yet. Trump's not in office yet. They don't get to go after him anymore. Yeah. They have to stop trying to kill him for a few more weeks. Like they got to make sure they can figure out something to do here.
Yeah, they're just bored, to be completely honest.
So yeah, it's beyond ridiculous that this is even a thing. Kamala Harris, they quote her with the equity thing, but
yeah, I feel like this is more just
preamble and things like that. But overall, it is on its face ridiculous thing that it is even coming up that the DOJ is wasting our taxpayer money to pursue something as ridiculous as this. Because here's the thing. If they were actively sitting there and we can find out that they were just passing these applicants up because they were black or female, okay, that's different. If you can prove that they're looking at the application and if there's checked black or checked female, that they're not even giving them a chance to go take the test, all right, discriminatory, right? Fuck you, that's wrong. But if the female is unable to pass the lowered standardized test currently, and if the applicant, who happens to be a black person, can't pass the written, oh fucking well, okay? Because you know something? There are plenty of white dudes and Spanish people and Spanish girls and white girls and Indian and Asian and whatever the fuck you want to call it that also can't do these things. And it's not discriminatory. There are standards for a reason. But these are the same people that want to defund the police. So it makes no surprise here, Dave.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on. because I'm tired of stupid things. We're going to move on to something else stupid, though, because there is
roll
a
through this
problem.
one quickly to be
We're going to go
completely
through this
honest
one
with you.
because, all right. So on its face, the
I need to
title,
watch a Sam Hyde video on this one.
the title here, biotech execs warns that the weight loss drugs do more harm than good. So, while obvious, Ozempic and shit like that are not good for you. Okay. We're watching Lizzo's fat fucking ass get skinny, not because she's working out and running and eating less cheeseburgers, because she's taking a fucking pill.
No, you don't believe that she's just working out and changing her diet. Come on.
Her diet is like not eating her dancers anymore or taking Ozempic after trying to eat her dancers. Like, no. And here's the thing. In this article, it is coming from George Yankopoulos. That sounds about right. George Yankopoulos, the chief scientific officer at Regeneron, who's particularly concerned about the muscle loss. So riddle me this. A pharmaceutical company is mad at another pharmaceutical company. And what's their answer, Dave? They are working on making a drug that will counteract the negative side effects of other drug. So not
That's so funny, dude.
So not don't take this. It is. So here, ready? Well, I'll read this thing. In a recent interview with Financial Times, Yankopoulos said that weight loss drugs, specifically glucagon-like peptide-1, GLP-1 inhibitors, could actually cause more harm than good. His company, Regeneron, is actively researching a drug that would help preserve muscle mass when taken with GLP-1 drugs. So no, not don't take this. Stop being a fat fucking lazy piece of shit. Work out, change your diet, go to sleep on time, get real hours of sleep, unlike me and you, Dave. What is Regeneron's answer? Let's fuck you up some more and give you another drug so we can make more money. Listen,
I just find it funny that they didn't say, oh, we have actually another drug instead of Ozempic you could take. No, it's take this with Ozempic so it won't fuck you up that badly.
I will say this. I'm not as negative. I think Big Pharma is a bunch of pieces of shit. But at the same time, without Big Pharma, we wouldn't have had a ton of the breakthroughs that we've had in terms of curing a lot of things and things like that. So Big Pharma has its place. But God, something like this is just the low of the low. And for Best Life to be doing this article, Abby Reinhard, your article should just be calling out biotech person wants to create a drug to counteract a drug for them to make more money for drug. That's it. That's it. The answer to this is not take another drug. It's don't fucking take Ozempic and that type of drugs in the first place. So that was all I wanted to do was point out the hypocrisy here, because if we didn't have hypocrisy, we wouldn't have anything with a lot of these people, Dave. So we're going to get the fuck out of here with that. That's all I want to say. I don't actually care about the article because it's obvious. Taking weight loss drugs without working out is bad. You will lose muscle mass. We see these women and men that are taking it, mostly women, because all these women that are body positive all want to be fucking size 0 again, apparently, because they're so body positive and that's okay to be fat that they want to be skinny. But with that being skinny, all of a sudden they start looking like Skeletor. And they're all permanent fucking
Ozempic face does hit pretty hard, man. That's pretty bad.
Ozempic face is gross. There's nothing attractive about Ozempic face. You look like fucking Yzma from Emperor's New Groove.
That's exactly a good reference. That's a very good, great movie. Fantastic
one of the
movie.
Best Disney movies of all time. But
we're gonna end off on a white pill. That's what we're gonna do. This is a white pill, man.
I think it's a white pill.
It's a white pill because of how cool it is. At least, I mean, I think it's cool.
It is cool. Listen, anything space related is fucking dope.
Yeah. So this is from Elon Musk, SpaceX. This is their tower that catches boosters and other such things from space. And we're going to watch the video.
That's it.
It's a custom-built tower with arms that are designed to catch the largest and heaviest flying object ever made and pluck it out of the air.
What's crazy is that's coming down.
That's the theory, anyway.
Bad Godzilla flying movies, like when they make things flying.
Yeah, it does. It looks like it's being hung on strings.
On the strings. That's exactly what that rocket looked like as it was moving. I felt like I was watching like.
Well, I mean, have you ever seen
by his tail?
Have you ever actually watched birds fly, man?
Birds are retarded. They're not real. That's why, though. They're all
But
drones.
they aren't real. They're all cameras.
drones. They're all government spy drones.
Yeah, but like sometimes they fly around and they look like they're on strings, and it's like,
well, no, because half the time it's because they're in the wind jet stream, and I said,
I know,
and I'm like, that's fucking cool, man. I wish I could experience that just once in my life.
Yeah,
just the airlessness that they probably feel just chilling, and then you see those birds fly in front of you, and then you look down, you're doing 35, 40 miles an hour, and you're like, fuck, that's a fast bird. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Go ahead, Dave.
So
Elon just said, delete the legs, delete. We're like, well, what's like, you just use the arms, and then said it again. I mean, they go, wow, he's serious. Okay, we better get on this. And now it seems normal. Or
it'll weigh about 250 tons. We'll make that lighter over time. So you got like, cool, a couple hundred tons, plummeting at more than half the speed of sound. So this thing is still coming in really fast.
Yeah.
Pretty much down in a downward direction. So then they light the engines. So it's going to slow itself down very fast and correct any error. So like whatever the XY error is when the engines land, it's going to take out that XY error and then drop the velocity to basically zero.
Is it just me, or do you feel like Elon Musk only has one of those Occupy Mars shirts and he hasn't taken it off since the rally and it smells terrible? He seems like that billionaire that only would get one of them.
He's definitely autistic, so it's a possibility.
He apparently doesn't live in his mansion. He lives in like a fucking small house.
Yeah.
Like, and he already lives
like the stories of him just sleeping on the fucking warehouse floor. Like I said, the guy's autistic, so I wouldn't be surprised if he hasn't watched that.
Aren't all men?
Yeah, but still, he's like a king artist.
All right, go ahead.
Come in between the arms. The arms will be wide, and as it's coming in, the arms will close, go flush against the side of the vehicle, and the vehicle will be descending through the arms. And those tiny little, you can barely see them, the little knobs, those kind of lifting lugs
in the air.
will touch the top of the arms, and then it will hopefully not shear off and crumple. Success is one of the possible outcomes.
Fucking cool, dude.
The probability is uncertain, but it is above zero.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. How can you deny this man anything at this point when it comes to advancements? Like, we did his article yesterday about the Optimus robot and things like that, and there's doubts about it. And if you were hearing this right now, if you were hearing, hey, those boosters that come off rockets, they always plunge, make sure they land them in the Atlantic or the Pacific, wherever it is, whatever body of giant water, out of the way, because it would be difficult. And then all of a sudden he's going, man, we don't have to do that. We're going to make sure we catch it so then we can reuse these. Could you imagine how many billions of dollars they are going to save if this is a successful thing? Even if it's successful 50% of the time, the billions that they are going to save by being able to just refurbish and reuse instead of just, scrapping it and getting rid of it and maybe hopefully using some parts. Like, this could be game changing. And God, what people like Elon and Branson and even Bezos has done for space exploration that NASA was never able to do is really crazy, and goes to show that when you let the free market do its thing properly, it will be better than the government every single fucking time. What do you say, Dave?
Yeah, no, I just thought it was really neat, honestly. And like, he's explaining it as simply as it could possibly be explained. Like, the arms are going to start off wide, and as the ship's coming in, it's going to narrow and close in on it. in this sensor here, hopefully it doesn't crumple. But obviously, it's very extraordinarily complex for something so simple, and it's just awesome to watch because I want
to see the X's and Y's of how they get it. Like, is it drone controlled, how they're doing that? Or is it like a kind of like a magnetic type of thing that they're doing? Because just watching it, the way it just gets pulled is pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's awesome to watch because that's something that people have wanted to do for a long time. Land these things back from outer space, be able to reuse them in some capacity, and not just have them land in the water. But obviously you want people to be safe in their expedition. So it's just awesome to see that happen. It's another advancement in any direction, and it's really cool to me.
And the value of it is it's all unmanned. Like that is an unmanned booster. So if something does go wrong, it's not like there's lives being lost, right?
Yeah.
The people are safe enough, far enough away in mission control that even if the thing does go fucking up, there's been rockets that have exploded on the tarmac. So it's not like they're going to be harmed. So it's like, even like I said, even if this is successful 50% of the time, it is a massive win for space exploration and something that Elon can hang his hat on and go, hey, if we could do this here, why can't we build this on the moon?
Yeah.
Why can't we have this work there and then jump? And like, he's going to start planting these things every fucking where we can go. And then all of a sudden now we have our landing mechanism. We have our landing module. And, you know, it's only a matter of time before he does this with like some legitimate shuttles and things like that. So it's exciting. Elon continues to push the envelope. I'm not convinced he's not a Bond villain yet, but we will find out if he is a Bond villain or if he actually is just an autistic dude that wants to get to space and Mars and is just a giant fucking child that has the money to do it. Like, you know, I hope it's the latter. That robot and that neurochip are not coming to my fucking house. But because you know, when they all turn and when Bender takes over the fucking world, I want to be one of the only humans trying to stand up against it.
He's just gonna bend you.
He is gonna bend me. But you know what though? I'll have Flexo on my side. If I have Flexo on my side, then I can't lose.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, we're gonna get out of here. We appreciate everyone for watching. Anyone that's listening in the podcast space, as always, X, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're watching, we appreciate it. Go do your thing over there. Repost, follow, share, subscribe, like, all that stuff. I truly appreciate all the activity in the chat today. Nate, Hack, you know, Fact Check, all of you giving us some stuff over there, giving us some love over there. We appreciate it all. You guys are all awesome. If you're listening on the podcast space right now, we appreciate you as well. And, you know, we would love for you to go and give us a rating, give us a comment if you can and things like that. Outside of that, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll shoot the shit a little more. Maybe we'll have some more stuff on Pokemon. Maybe we'll be dead and Nintendo's going to kill us for talking about it. Who knows?